Becoming a professional over-the-road truck driver requires getting your commercial driver's license, CDL. To obtain your CDL, you'll need to first get your commercial learner's permit, CLP, and to do that, you'll need to pass 3 written tests at your local driver's licensing office. There are 3 different tests. 1. CDL Practice Test General Knowledge. 2. CDL Practice Test Combination Vehicle. 3. CDL Practice Test Air Brakes. Commercial Driver's License, Practice Test, Combination Vehicle. Question: when should you use the hand valve to park a combination vehicle? Option number 1, to park at loading docks. Option number 2, never. Option number 3, to park on a grade. Option number 4, every time. The answer is option number 2, never. Question: a fully loaded rig is dash times more likely to roll over in a crash than an empty rig. Option number 1, 5. Option number 2, 10. Option number 3, 15. Option number 4, 20. The answer is option number 2, 10. Question: which type of truck-trailer combination has the greatest chance of a crack-the-whip rollover? Option number 1, a tractor pulling 2 trailers. Option number 2, a single tractor-trailer. Option number 3, a tractor pulling 3 trailers. Option number 4, they all have the same chance of a crack-the-whip rollover. The answer is option number 3, a tractor pulling 3 trailers. Question: after you lock the kingpin into the 5th wheel, you should check the connection by pulling? Option number 1, forward 50 feet, then turning right, and then left. Option number 2, the tractor ahead gently with a trailer. Option number 3, the tractor ahead sharply to release the trailer brakes. Option number 4, backward about 10 feet. The answer is option number 2, the tractor ahead gently with the trailer. Question: what is the first thing you should do to prevent a trailer skid? Option number 1, step on the brakes hard several times to stop the skid. Option number 2, use the trailer handbrake. Option number 3, recognize that a skid has started to occur in the mirrors. Option number 4, maintain a constant speed to adjust the truck and trailer in a smooth fashion. The answer is option number 4, maintain a constant speed to adjust the truck and trailer in a smooth fashion. Question: when following behind other vehicles, you should follow. Option number 1, at least 1 second for every 20 feet of your vehicle length. Option number 2, at least 2 seconds for every 10 feet of your vehicle length. Option number 3, at least 2 seconds for every 10 feet of your vehicle length, plus 1 second if going over 50 miles per hour. Option number 4, at least 1 second for every 10 feet of your vehicle length, plus 1 second if going over 40 miles per hour. The answer is option number 4, at least 1 second for every 10 feet of your vehicle length, plus 1 second if going over 40 miles per hour. Question: a trailer jackknife is likely to happen when? Option number 1, the vehicle has a high center of gravity. Option number 2, the wheels of the trailer lock up. Option number 3, the front drive wheels lose traction. Option number 4, there is too much weight on the steering axles. The answer is option number 2, the wheels of the trailer lock up. Question: what is the fastest and best way to recognize that your trailer has started to skid? Option number 1, feeling your steering wheel shake. Option number 2, listening for the distinctive skidding sound. Option number 3, seeing it in your mirrors. Option number 4, feeling your vehicle pull to the side. The answer is option number 3, seeing it in your mirrors. Question: which type of vehicle is harder to control while stopping? Option number 1, larger combination vehicles that have no cargo in the trailers. Option number 2, larger vehicles with no trailers. Option number 3, larger combination vehicles with loaded trailers. Option number 4, none of these, motorized vehicles all stop at the same rate. The answer is option number 1, larger combination vehicles that have no cargo in the trailers. Question: when hoses are not in use, why should the trailer gland hands be locked together or attached to dead end or dummy couplers? Option number 1, to prevent mix-up the emergency and service lines. Option number 2, to keep the air supply clean. Option number 3, to keep the air supply regulated. Option number 4, to prevent a loss of air pressure. The answer is option number 2, to keep the air supply clean. Question: you should not back a tractor under a trailer until the whole air system is? Option number 1, at normal pressure. Option number 2, bled down to half the maximum pressure. Option number 3, between 60 and 80 psi. Option number 4, cleaned. The answer is option number 1, at normal pressure. Question: what should you do to prevent the crack the whip effect? Option number 1, change lanes quickly to avoid the crack the whip effect. Option number 2, drive fast so that you have no chance of causing a crack the whip effect. Option number 3, stay close to the rear of the car in front of you so you can make sure your driving is smooth to avoid hitting the car in front. Option number 4, steer gently and smoothly when pulling trailers. The answer is option number 4, steer gently and smoothly when pulling trailers. Question: what is the best way to prevent a rollover? Option number 1, place the cargo as close to the ground as possible and drive slowly at turns. Option number 2, put all cargo in the center of the trailer. Option number 3, put all cargo anywhere you see fit and drive at normal speeds at turns. Option number 4, put all cargo on one side of the trailer and drive at posted speeds at turns. The answer is option number 1, place the cargo as close to the ground as possible and drive slowly at turns. Question: what is off-tracking? Option number 1, when truck trailers swing from side to side. Option number 2, swerving on the road when you lose control of your steering. Option number 3, driving your truck off the road. Option number 4, when the rear wheels go a different path than the front wheels. The answer is option number 4, when the rear wheels go a different path than the front wheels. Question: on the trailer airlines of a combination vehicle, the service line connects to the dash on the trailer to control the pressure to the trailer brakes. Option number 1, glad hands. Option number 2, trailer hand valve. Option number 3, relay valves. Option number 4, tractor protection valve control. The answer is option number 3, relay valves. Question: what does the tractor protection valve do? Option number 1, it protects the truck or tractor from skidding. Option number 2, it's another name for trailer emergency brakes, which lets air out of the tractor emergency line. Option number 3, it keeps air out of the truck or trailer. Option number 4, it keeps air in the truck or tractor. The answer is option number 4, it keeps air in the truck or tractor. Question: when does the tractor protection valve close automatically? Option number 1, it doesn't close automatically, you need to close the valve yourself. Option number 2, when the air pressure is high and reaches 45 to 60 psi. Option number 3, when the air pressure is low and ranges from 25 psi to 40 psi. Option number 4, when the air pressure is low and reaches 30 psi to 55 psi. The answer is option number 3, when the air pressure is low and ranges from 25 psi to 40 psi. Question: what are the 2 trailer airlines that every combination vehicle has? Option number 1, emergency valve and service line. Option number 2, the service line and emergency line. Option number 3, air supply line and emergency line. Option number 4, tractor air supply and tractor protection valve. The answer is option number 3, air supply line and emergency line. Question: how many times should you drain the air tanks? Option number 1, monthly. Option number 2, every other day. Option number 3, once a week. Option number 4, every day. The answer is option number 4, every day. Question: what is the first step to coupling tractor semi-trailers? Option number 1, inspect area and chock wheels. Option number 2, inspect the fifth wheel. Option number 3, secure the tractor. Option number 4, position the tractor in front of the trailer. The answer is option number 2, inspect the fifth wheel. Question: what are trailer air tanks used for? Option number 1, to supply air pressure to the trailer brakes. Option number 2, to indicate how much air pressure is used on the trailer brakes. Option number 3, to keep oil and water out of the service and emergency airlines. Option number 4, to add more air to tires. The answer is option number 1, to supply air pressure to the trailer brakes. Question: what consideration should be made when you park a trailer that doesn't have spring brakes? Option number 1, use air pressure from the trailer air tanks. Option number 2, remove emergency air line. Option number 3, use wheel chocks. Option number 4, use the emergency brakes. The answer is option number 3, use wheel chocks. Question: when doing an inspection, which of the following would best describe a working landing gear? Option number 1, secured to the frame. Option number 2, fully raised and not bent. Option number 3, greased well. Option number 4, none of these. The answer is option number 2, fully raised and not bent. Question: what happens if the trailer height is too high? Option number 1, it doesn't matter if the trailer is too high. Option number 2, the tractor may strike and damage the trailer's nose. Option number 3, the spring brakes will not work properly. Option number 4, the trailer may not couple correctly. The answer is option number 4, the trailer may not couple correctly. Question: when connecting the glad hands, press the two coupler rubber seals together at what angle to each other? Option number 1, 45 degrees. Option number 2, 60 degrees. Option number 3, 90 degrees. Option number 4, 180 degrees. The answer is option number 3, 90 degrees. Question: the safest way to make a turn without entering another traffic lane is to? Option number 1, you should turn wide before you start the turn. Option number 2, you should turn wide as you complete the turn. Option number 3, you should not make the turn and find another place where you can turn without crossing into another lane. Option number 4, you should be in the lane while making the turn. The answer is option number 2, you should turn wide as you complete the turn. Question: after the trailer has been coupled to the tractor protection valve should be placed in what position? Option number 1, down. Option number 2, up. Option number 3, rear. Option number 4, sideways. The answer is option number 3, rear. Question: off tracking or cheating causes which of these to follow the wider pass while making a turn? Option number 1, tractor towing a 45 feet long trailer. Option number 2, tractor with two 27 feet long trailers. Option number 3, 53 feet long bobtail. Option number 4, tractor with two 25 feet long trailers. The answer is option number 1, tractor towing a 45 feet long trailer. Question: compared to a straight truck or bus, there are dash things to inspect on combination vehicles. Option number 1, fewer. Option number 2, the same amount. Option number 3, more. Option number 4, nothing to inspect. The answer is option number 3, more. Question: why should you be sure the fifth wheel plate is greased as required? Option number 1, to ensure a good electrical connection. Option number 2, to prevent steering problems. Option number 3, to reduce heat and noise. Option number 4, to reduce potential damage more easily. The answer is option number 2, to prevent steering problems.